There's an ongoing investigation about the formation of the attempt at an insurrection in Hartmann.
Yeah.
Because listen, I said if you're at least a giant dog owner as well, and you were running shoes a lot, we have tracked a lot of in on our shoes, our track shoes from 2020 through 2021, who took Betty White from us, and now we've lost Sidney Poitier this morning. Yeah. Is it not a literal show in many cases?
And Peter Bogdanovich too.
Yeah. It's has been some. Yeah. It's been Go ahead.
But I'm going to tell you, my favorite, what gave me joy and made me put on my bow, though, this morning, was my favorite line of Biden's speech. He's not just a former president. He's a defeated former president. Yep.
Bam! Did you see our fellow sexy liberals line? Hal Sparks tweeted, Trump must think it's New Year's Eve because he just got some balls dropped on his forehead.
Boom! And I'm telling you, that's what he needed to come out and say. He's a loser.
Yeah.
You people who came in here, you are domestic terrorists.
I wish if he had done part of the speech from Mahogany, I would have lost my, you know what I'm saying?
Oh,
my favorite speech. You're a loser, Brian, and nobody loves you. Nobody.
Wow.
Would it be so wrong to let Francis and I stand behind President Biden and go, yes, right, what he said.
Did you hear what he said? Did you hear what he said? Listen to that.
Let him say it again. Go ahead, Joe.
Not really anger translators, just a choir.
Yeah, just punctuation marks.
Back up and black up.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's what we do.
I saved this for you. Black Knight tweeted, it was a black guy that saved Mike Pence from getting lynched by his own party a year ago. You couldn't make it up if you tried.
That's right. Eugene Goodman.
Yeah. And then they're like, oh, this wasn't about race. I'm like, really? Because they shouted the N-word at Capitol police officers multiple times. They brought a Confederate flag. I'm like, what? Okay.
They're always trying to ride both lines, though. On the one hand, it wasn't them, but they're proud of it.
Yeah.
They take credit for it because they're not sorry of anything they did on the day, but we had nothing to do with it. I know we've gotten way beyond hypocrisy into this land of, do you think that I'm not awake?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
they do. I think that's what they think.
I think the statistic that, obviously not a surprise to a lot of us, but interesting is when they talk about where the most insurrectionists came from, it was not necessarily the highest Trump voting areas or this or that. It was the areas where the white majority was disappearing, quote unquote, more quickly. I mean, all of this stuff they always say, right? Economic anxiety, or it was this or it was that, or it obviously had how can there be a Confederate flag and there's no racial element to what happened, right?
Exactly. But also, that is our problem in this country is that we are using white grievance to not talk about white grievance.
Right. Yes. I'm sorry to play more Liz Cheney, but I just feel that I must. Liz Cheney yesterday.
The committee is absolutely determined to ensure that we
did that one already.
Okay.
Next one, 10.
Right.
Yeah.
And we are very focused on the minute-by-minute activities at the White House, what he was doing. And again, as I said, we now have firsthand testimony about the extent to which he was watching television and was refusing to ask people to stop, ask them to go home.
Liz Cheney is 55. Her mother is not my
I didn't say that. I said that she is your age. Which means she's 15 years too old for you.
Here's the thing that brings us back to balance. Liz Cheney being wrong. Mike Pence is not a hero. Here she is.
Former Vice President Pence was a hero on January 6th. He refused the pressure of the former president. He did his duty, and the nation should be very grateful for the actions that he took that day. We look forward to continuing the cooperation that we've had with members of former Vice President's team, and look forward as well to his cooperation.
I get she's trying to get his cooperation,
in that one
is that
instance.
what counts as a hero? I mean, he was complicit. If he could have, he asked 16 ways to Sundays. If there was a way that he could do it, if he legally could have done it, he would have.
And I believe right now, if you gave him the opportunity to change what he did, he would.
He would.
Yes,
Absolutely.
Exactly.
So the reality is, if we're going to sit here, though, and call Liz Cheney a hero, for doing what everybody should be doing, then I get why she thinks she can call him a hero.
Yeah.
Like she is an ally in this fight. Yeah. But the fact is, I agree with you, Stephanie. One of the most heinous things to come out of this is to see me happy to see Dick Cheney.
Yes.
Yeah. And Democrats rushing up to him. I was hoping it would be just for handcuffs for the Hague, for the war criminal thing. But maybe, that's too backwards looking.
Is this? Yes, where Dick Cheney and Liz Cheney are the only two Republicans that we are rushing up to embrace.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, Vader and Vaderette.
Right. Right. Now. One happy clappy moment. John Dean of Watergate fame tweeted, Donald Trump and his co-conspirators should not sleep well. We've talked to Glenn Kirshner today. We've talked to our partner, Allison Gill. That's all I can look at, Frangela, is I'm as impatient as anybody. But, when I look at Neil Katyal and Barb McQuaid and Joyce Vance, they all seem to be heartened by what Garland said and feel that justice is in fact coming. How did it land with you, Garland and Biden's speeches?
Yeah, Garland's speech, I was glad he came out and spoke. But the reality is that it's been a year.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And so what I'm concerned about is what everyone else is concerned about, which is midterms.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that the first opportunity Republicans can stop this investigation or any investigation into them and their wrongdoing, it will happen. So get a move on is what I'm saying. My auntie used to say, put some pep in your step.
Yeah.
Does that have anything to do with the waxing of ponies or no? It's just a general.
Yeah. No, because there's always time for waxing a pony once, but
you
can't do it.
But that's it. Got it. Go ahead, Angela. Sorry.
I feel like Garland's speech, to me, I didn't like the tone. I felt like his tone was get off my back. And I'm like, are you kidding me? There was a literal coup going on right now, a coup attempt, and you want me off your back? I can't, every time people are like, he shouldn't comment on investigations, and I just can't get it out of my head watching them do it to Hillary.
Yes.
Watching Comey do it to Hillary.
Oh, well, you and I, we're in the die-mad caucus, so we're in the die-mad about Hillary, yes. Yeah,
I'm like, you were willing to do it when it could stop somebody's candidacy, but you're not willing to do it when he could stop a coup?
And I'm
to me...
Yeah, I'm as happy clappy as they come, Angela, and I get Joy Reid and Ellie Mistal saying, I'm tired of hearing about a great white hope, whether it's Mueller or Garland or whatever. I am also in the... Okay, he struck the right notes. I'm willing to be optimistic, but damn, I hope I see something and not just hear it, right?
Absolutely. And so far, in my opinion, we've yet to see him. They have sent over the evidence to try to bring up contempt, the contempt charges on Bannon.
Yeah.
And what's his name? And it's
Meadows.
like, and why isn't he dealt with it? Like, just do it. Like, go get them, punish them.
Right.
For the thing that they did right now that isn't a part of your investigation because they are refusing to comply with a congressional subpoena right now. You don't need to send 100 people out to investigate it. You know it, it's there, do something about it. And then maybe I get off your back.
I believe this is falling under the we're not Boo Boo the Fool. I think that's what this is falling under.
Yeah, territory.
Yeah.
We're not Boo Boo the Fool.
Yeah. Well, I guess because I was saying to Glenn and to Allison, I think it's because we've seen so much of it. So much of it is out in the open and on tape that we're just like, what the actual? How much more evidence do you need?
Yeah, when you have on tape the president of the United States asking someone to do voter fraud, find the votes for them, and there's been no charges. People from his own party recorded him and released the tape, and there's been no accountability for that. That alone, Stephanie.
Yeah. You know how fast we need justice? I don't know if this guy made Idiot of the Week, but this story.
Uh-oh.
On tape. Cheating Ring doorbell TikTok. Woman allegedly catches unfaithful spouse. A TikTok user shared footage from her Ring doorbell security camera in which her husband appears to be unfaithful. When your husband is too sick to go on the family trip you planned, she wrote in the caption, the recording showed a man leaving the house, followed seconds later by a woman who met him on the porch and gave him a kiss before leaving. She claimed in her comments that her husband thought the camera was disabled. Nice touch. Yeah. Days later, she said locks have been changed. He no longer lives here. She's got all her life to live, all her love to give, right? Ring doorbell footage to conviction. How long was that, Frangela? How long was that?
Walk out the door. I don't want you here anymore. I can do bad by myself.
Oh.
That's what I'm saying. Oh, you think? You think you got me? You ain't got an address.
Okay, maybe if we got it all on Ring doorbell footage, this would already have been done. Okay.
I wouldn't be surprised if we do have it on Ring doorbell. You know how I feel. I believe there is a literal file that says these are the crimes we committed and how we did. Like and I'm been almost right.
Yes, illegal. We did.
Right. John Eastman. Where's all that stuff?
Yes.